This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi Yuvi.
Hi, Srini. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I just got the message from Ranjit. It seems he's not available today. Let's continue the session. I think I've started the recording also. Yeah, he can come and um, look into that recording. You have asked some questions right in last session. I'll be covering that also in one of the demo example. So some deep dive on constructor we'll be doing today, so that you'll get some clarity about like what is constructor, when and all we can use constructor and other things. I hope my screen is visible to you and my
Yeah,
voice is
yes,
okay.
Yuvi. Yeah,
Okay, fine. So in last session, I was talking about the set dimension. I was telling that you can use it whenever you want to change the instance variable later phase of your program. For initial phase, that is at the time of object creation, you can very well use a constructor. If you are planning to change it later, the good option is to have a separate method, and whichever data you want to update, you can do it. That was the information I've given. So this is the code I was using. The set dimension was the method I was using. Here I was taking three inputs, and those three input I was assigning to the instance variable. As it was a very first introduction, I was using a different variable name for the input and different variable name for the instance variable. Usually both these things will be same. Okay, so what you can see in the regular practice is something like this. Your input would be length, the name would be exactly same like your instance variable. Okay, if that is the case, if I'm planning to assign this, okay, uh, length equal to length and breadth equal to breadth and height equal to height. Say for example, I'm assigning something like this. As I wrote the code, I know all the things on my right hand side is my inputs. All the variables on my left hand side is my instance variable. If somebody else is coming and viewing this code, they will get confused that what is this length, what is this length. There are two variables I can see, but I don't know which is input here, which is the instance variable here. So to avoid the confusion, usually what we will do is we will use some keyword which is very much strict to the constructor concept, that is your object related things. So what we do is to differentiate that in my left hand side, whatever I have, it is related to my object, it is related to my constructor initialization. So it is more on a object more than a constructor. I would say the very apt word to use it here is the constructor. Sorry, the most apt word to use it here is object. Okay, so whenever I call this set dimension method using a red box object, then this keyword corresponds to the red box, so it is representing that this is equal to red box, or red box is equal to this. Similarly, when I call the same set dimension method using the yellow box, so I'll show that also. I'll go to the demo class. In the demo class only we have the main method, right? There only we used to call all those things. So in the demo class, how I call the set dimension, I was creating one red box object, and using the red box object I am calling this set dimension. So when I call the set dimension using up object, then this keyword will match with the object which is used to call this set dimension method. Today I am calling this using the red box object. Later on, if I am calling with the yellow box object, then this keyword will go and represent the yellow box. Why I'm telling this is, you know the concept. I have shown one boxes, right? In the PPT I was showing different colors boxes, yellow box, red box, and I told also whenever the objects are created in the memory, something memory will be allocated for yellow box, red box separately, and the predefined instance variable would be there, and the values will be assigned. So that was the one I told, right? So whenever I execute the line number 12, 13 and 14, what will happen is it will go and check what is the this stands for. This stands for red box. In this particular execution, it corresponds to the red box in today's demo. So it will go to the red box memory and it will see is there any variable available with the length, breadth and height. If it is available, it will go and replace the existing value. So as I told already, the default value would be 0. Later on, using constructor, if you look at my code here, using constructor, I was initializing with some data. Later on, I'm calling the set dimension method. So first it will be 0. Later on, the length will be updated with the 10. Later on, the length will be updated with 16. So the red box values, the instance variable value is kept on changing in this case. So how I can do, so whenever you see the this keyword in your coding, don't get confused. You have to go and check the method calling, from where the method is called. Then you can see how the method is called. What was the object used to call this method? If you know the object, then you can very well correlate the object with this keyword, and you can see that the latest value would be updated for that particular object. Okay, this is the use of this keyword. This you can expect in an interview. That's why I was explaining you. In interview, they won't ask you to write the code and all, but they will ask what is the purpose of this keyword, what is the when you will use this keyword and all. In that cases, you can very well use it. Now we are jumping on to a interesting topic, I would say. Some student used to confuse with this static concept. Okay, what is this static concept? The static concept is there in the other basic programming languages also. It was like little bit confused there, but in Java it is very much clear, I would say. When I can go for static, when I don't have to go for static and all. So it is very much clear. So for this, today I'm going to take a example. Okay, in that example, Srini, I'll be covering your question also in the static example. So what is a demo example which you're going to consider today is, I have shown that I have multiple boxes, right? Red boxes, yellow boxes, purple boxes, black box, like whatever box I'm creating. For every box, I'm creating an object. So what I want to track here is, I want to track how many objects are created for the class box. Okay, there is a class called box, right? So that is the one we are using for the demo in last couple of sessions. So for that box class, how many objects are created? I want to track it. So the best way to track it is, in the class itself, I can have one variable, and that variable I can keep on incremented. Whenever the box class is called to create an object, I can keep on incrementing the particular variable. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to create one new variable. Already I have three variables called length, breadth and height. This is meant for the dimensions. Now I'm going to create one thing. This is for the tracking of the number of objects. I want to track the number of objects created for this particular class. So I'm saying that int count. Okay, I would say int box count. So box count means I'm going to calculate the box object count. Okay, I want to track the object count of box. Okay, I want to do it. This is my expectation. So I thought like I can create one variable and normal variable. Okay, so nothing specific here. I want to use it for my object calculation. So what I did is, I thought like I can go here, I can go to my method. So here the red box, I created one object here, right? Red box. And red box dot. When I do like this, usually it used to list down the number of variables, or the number of, or the methods aligned with a particular object. So previously it was showing breadth, length and height. Today it is showing the box object count also, because it is newly added right in the class, and it's showing. Just think about one thing. If I add a code which is incrementing the box count whenever, so obviously it is a object, and if I want to increment the value of this box object count variable means using this object only I can call. So what I will be doing, so this is called, so inside constructor I'm getting in, okay, this is my constructor, any one constructor I can take. So say for example this is the constructor I want to use, the 3 argument constructor. Inside that what I'm saying is this is box object count plus plus. So the ultimate idea here is whenever I call this, whenever I opt for object creation, we very well know that the constructor will be called. So when the constructor calls, I can increment the count value. Okay. So to answer your question, Srini, if you want to do any similar kind of operation, yes, you can very well do it inside the constructor apart from initializing the value. If you want to do some operations exactly what I'm doing, yes, you can do it. Okay. So now I'm incrementing it. Let me print all this value. So I have created one red box. For the red box, I have assigned some value, and let me print the value of, okay, red box dot box count. Okay, this is the value I want to print. Number of objects created. Okay, after red box call. So something just I want to tell that after the red box execution, how many objects are available. Then I'm creating one yellow box. Okay, yellow box. So what I can do is I can go for this option. Okay, 3 arguments. I've created an object. So now I'm printing number of objects created after um, yellow box. Let's call it as so yellow box call. So here I'm saying yellow box dot object count. Okay. My understanding is I have created 2 objects here. So the box count would be 2. This is my expectation. And I'm going to run this code also now. For now, I'll comment all other code. It's all commented, it is not deleted, so that later phase when you want to see, for everything I've added the heading also, so that you will come, you can correlate what for this particular code is created. So now I'm executing this code. It is compiling. Yes. If you look at my code, you can see it is saying that after the red box object creation, the count is 1. After the yellow box object creation, the count is 1. But this is wrong, right? I have created 2 objects. One is red box, another one is yellow box. What my expectation is, it should be 2. Okay, that is the expectation. That was a requirement given to me also to track the number of objects created. If I create one more object called black box, then obviously the count should be 3. But here it is not working. I used a variable, I used the increment operator, and I'm properly calling inside the constructor also. But still why my count is not working correct. Here only the points come into. Let me share my presentation. Same slide which we already discussed. Uh, I hope my slide is visible. If you look
Yeah,
at this
yes.
slide, thank you for the confirmation, Srini. If you look at this list, whenever I created this red box object, I told that in memory there will be a space created, and inside the space I'll be having length breadth, and height. Now I added one more object called, one more variable called box object. So it will be added here. Okay, because it is all instance variable, a normal variable. Similarly, when I create a yellow box with a new keyword, here also that box object count will be created. Okay, the number would be there and the default value would be 0. So when the constructor is called, what is the code I've written in constructor? It was saying that plus plus. So it is incrementing the value. In the beginning, it will have 0. The box count would be 0. As I said, plus plus, the value would be 1. Similarly, for the yellow box, when this particular line is executed, box equal to yellow box, new box with some arguments when I pass it, it will go to the constructor with 3 arguments and it will execute the same code, box object clown plus plus. So here, initially it was 0, right? It will be incremented with 1. So what I've done here, I've added a variable, it is tightly coupled with my object. So if I want to calculate something related to the object, I got an answer. That is red box, one time it is created, yellow box, one time is created. But what I want, I don't want this. I want something like all together. This one together as 2. This was the output I was expecting. It means I want something I don't want to be tightly coupled with my object. I want something which is outside of my object. I want to keep something at the class level. I don't want anything at the object level. So object level means it will be inside this particular object scope only. So how many time I do increment, it will go and increment the yellow box. It will go and increment the red box. Next time it will go and increment the green box. Next time it will go and increment the blue box. So this is how it will be incremented. So this is how it will be incremented.
Hi UV, we are not able to hear your voice. Hi UV, yeah, we are not able to hear your voice. Hello? Hello UV?
This conference will now be recorded.